Hey guys, NASCAR Mobile 48 back again, and welcome back to another tier list episode. In today's tier list episode, it is my 2021 NASCAR season predictions. Now, I'm just going off of what do I predict is going to happen because we haven't seen anything. We haven't seen just like anything. We just see drivers with their new teams, with their new paint schemes. We don't know how they're going to run, so we'll just see what happens. But we're going to go ahead and do this early because the Bush Clash is in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I believe, 3 weeks since it's not Tuesday, but I don't know. But yeah, let's go and get this tier list video started. So first off, we have Quinn Half in the double zero. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but no disrespect. It's just that I don't know why they switch Quinn Half with Landon Castle. Landon Castle should have stayed, but really the team wasn't really gonna go anywhere and stuff. I don't even think they have a alliance. They probably do, but they use pretty old cars. Next up, we got Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch, it's tough. He's definitely a playoff contender. Round of 12, round of 16 out. And this could be his final season in the Cup Series. So I'm going to say Kurt Busch is a round of 12 out. Because, he kind of got lucky. Well, actually, in the round of 16, you had some drivers who were like not, who were like worse than him. Like, you had William Byron. He was kind of struggling. Yeah, Matt Benedetto, who got in lucky after that Daytona race, and then you had Cole Custer, which we all knew, and then who was the last one? Ryan Blaney, yeah, because Ryan Blaney had that penalty at well, before the Darlington race started, so right before the playoffs started, just by a couple hours. So I'd say Kurt Busch is around a 12 out because that race that one at Las Vegas was kind of lucky. Because really, if there were like another like three, 4, 5 laps, Denny Hamlin would have easily won that race. But yeah, but right now I'm just gonna say Kurt Busch is in the round of 12. I may change some things up by how far we get into this video. So yeah, let's just continue. Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski has a 1 year extension, and I feel like this is gonna affect him. Thinking that if I do this, where am I gonna go next year? So, Brad Keselowski, I see him being a round of 8 out. He could make the championship four, but I think he'll be out in the round of 8 because you got things changing. And Brad Keselowski, he's going to be like thinking like Matt Benedetto. Wow, I have a 1 year contract extension. It's just that Brad Keselowski, we don't even know where he's going to go. We don't know if he's going to be with Penske next season or he could be out because we don't know what's going to happen to Brad Keselowski. So for now, I'm going to put Brad Keselowski in the round of 8 out, or just out of the round of 8 to make it sound more real. But moving on, Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon, the one at Texas with him and Tyler Reddick, that was just strategy. He didn't have like the dominant car. He didn't have like the best car on track. And I bet if there's like a few more laps in that race, Reddick probably would have won. Kyle Busch and Joey Logano. But after last year, Tyler Reddick looked better than Austin Dillon. But Austin Dillon had that win at Texas. So I'm just gonna say Austin Dillon is just gonna miss the playoffs. I'd say he'd be like 19th or 20th in the point standings or something. Austin Dillon really coming into this 2020 season. Coming into the 2020 season of last year, they had a terrible year with Daniel Hemrick and him. 2018, he got lucky winning the Daytona 500. We didn't really expect much of him because it was a plate race, or a restrictor plate. Well, I don't even think you can say that anymore. His super speedway. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And then 2017 got his first career win. Good for him. 2016, 2015, 2014 wasn't really that much of a competitor. Did he make the playoffs in 2016? Yeah, he did. So Austin Dillon could definitely make it into the playoffs because he has a decent enough car. It's just that if he makes the playoffs, we don't expect much from him. So I'm just gonna put him right here. No disrespect, like whenever I talk about these drivers, if I sounds like I'm being disrespectful, I'm not trying to. I'm not. I'm just going by the facts. Like you just have to go by off the truth. Like I'm not trying to be mean. Moving on, we have Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick missed the Final Four last year because Kansas, he almost won the race against Joey Logano. Texas, it was raining and he kind of got loose, hit the wall. That brought some damage on his car, and that kind of affected the race on Wednesday because he had some of that damage. So that was going to affect him in his performance in that race when they had to fix the damage. And then Martinsville, I have no idea what happened. Kevin Harvick's not really the best driver on short tracks. I mean, he did win at Bristol. Richmond, I don't even think of Kevin Harvick at Richmond or Martinsville. So Bristol, out of all places, Kevin Harvick could definitely win. But Martinsville, I'm not sure. So after what I saw in Martinsville, I feel like Kevin Harvick could definitely fix his mistakes. So I think Kevin Harvick could make the round of, or actually, yeah, he could make the final four. But will he win? Just stay tuned and find out. Next up, Kyle Larson. People were just talking about Kyle Larson. His Daytona scheme was just released a couple days ago. Nation's Guard. It's a pretty good looking scheme. Got the nice green and black, and it's gonna be like his primary for like the Florida races, the first three races. Kyle Larson, I see him being a round of eight eliminator. Like I feel like he can make the round of eight, but just be eliminated, like come up so short. Because I expect a lot from Kyle Larson. Like the Bristol Dirt Race, he could definitely win that. And there's like other tracks that he's good at. Like take Michigan for instance. There's no Auto Club Speedway. He's pretty decent at Richmond. He's pretty good there. And Dover, he won there before, so I really don't know. And I only yeah, Dover's not even in the playoffs, so yeah, it doesn't matter. But I feel like Kyle Larson can have a pretty good season, but I don't see it being a championship season. It could, but we don't know. So I'm gonna put Kyle Larson being eliminated in the round of eight. Next up, Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman's just here just to make him feel better, put in front of Quinn Houff. Ryan Newman just hasn't been the same. After that Daytona wreck, it just hasn't been that it for Roush Family Racing. I mean, they came off 2019 having a pretty good year with Ryan Newman making the playoffs. He almost won at Talladega over Ryan Blaney, and then I don't know. Something just happened. Ryan Newman, I don't think he's just the same. He hasn't won a race since 2017, longer than Jimmy Johnson. So Ryan Newman, his winless streak is bigger than Johnson. So Newman, I don't see him winning a race next year. He could at the play races if he's lucky, but Ryan Newman's just not really a playoff contender anymore. So I think it's about time that he hangs up his helmet and his fire suit and probably go find something else to do because Ryan Newman, he's just not the same as he was like in the early 2000s or actually the mid 2000s actually. All right, next up we have Corey LaJoy. I expect a lot from Corey LaJoy because really, for Corey LaJoy, your goal is to do better than what you did in Go Fast Racing Equipment. That's a good goal I would set on. And then after that in 2022, you try to go for a playoff spot, go for a win, because everything's going to be like evenly matched once the next gen car hits the track in 2022. So it's a bit weird, but see him finishing higher than Ryan Newman. Even though Ryan Newman's in better equipment, I see him finishing higher than Ryan Newman, but I don't think it's like a 17th to 25th because, yeah, I have all these other drivers who are in better equipment, but I think he could probably be 26. But I do expect him to finish higher than what he did last year in the 32 car. Next up, Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick, I see him making the playoffs, but I see him being like Austin Dillon in the 2020 season doing good in the round of 16, but then the round of 12 just gets you. Because the round of 12 is the complete wild card. Got a mile and a half Las Vegas, road course, Charlotte Roval, and restrictor plate Talladega. So I put Tyler Reddick in round of 12, and I definitely see him getting a win, but I just don't know. I think Homestead could be a good place for him to get his win, his first win, because that's race number 3. So watch out for Tyler Reddick, especially with these RCR engines and these Hendrick engines combined into one super powered horsepower engine. And at the end of the year of 2020, the Chevys were looking really good. So I don't know I forgot when it was used, but actually just watch out for the Chevys next year. Just watch out for them. I have like, oh, I don't want to spoil it. I'll tell you at the end, but yeah, let's just move on. Next up, we have Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott, especially with all these road courses coming, I see him making it up into the final four for the second year in a row. Will he win it? We'll just find out at the end. But yeah, Chase Elliott at these road courses, but he's going to be going against Austin Cindric because Austin Cindric's going to be in some of these races. Martrix Jr. and Denny Hamlin are like the two drivers I can only think of that are close to beating Chase Elliott at a road course. Like Chase Elliott, one road course I don't see him winning could be Sonoma. I think that's Martrix Jr.'s cup of tea. Denny Hamlin could win there. He almost won there, but Tony Stewart got the best of him in 2016. That was a good finish. And I don't know. Maybe some of the new road courses that we're getting, maybe he loses one of them because some of the other like Austin Cindric, he's run at those tracks before, so that's a bit of an advantage because he ran that just like last season, and Chase hasn't run there since 2014. So we'll see, but yeah, I have Chase Elliott making the Final Four. Eric Almirola, I think he's just not going to do as well as he did last year because he should have gotten a win in July. July was his year. Not year, but July was his month. So watch out for Eric Almirola. Well, actually, I don't even know why I'm saying that, but Almirola is top five greatest drivers of all time. I like him. Smithfield and stuff, but round of 16, I think that's when he's gonna get out because he just hasn't been the same, and really, I wouldn't be surprised if our Stewart Haas Racing let go of him after 2021. So this has to be a big year for him, Alex Bowman, William Byron, and a couple other drivers to see what they can do for when the next gen car hits the track in 2022. Denny Hamlin is up next. I see him making the championship four for the third year in a row because of the one thing, well, two things. One is the package because they're used to it after last year, but the number one important thing to Denny Hamlin is Chris Gabart. Chris Gabart, I don't think he's as good as Rodney Childers because really, if he was as good as Rodney Childers, he would have gotten a championship with Denny Hamlin last year or the year before that. But Chris Gabart is definitely the key to Denny Hamlin's success in these last couple of seasons. So really, they can make the championship four again, but can they win it? We'll see because Phoenix, I think they finish last out of the championship four. I'm pretty sure they did. They finished like fourth, and Logano finished like third because Kozlowski was coming, but he just couldn't get to Chase Elliott because Chase Elliott was just better. Next up, Ryan Blaney. Blaney, I think he'll have a bit of a better year, but Blaney, I don't know. I don't see him being out in the round of 16. I have him out in the round of 12. And wow, coincidence? I don't think so. That's my line. But Blaney, I'm not really confident about Blaney because he's just been struggling like towards the end of the season. Like some of it wasn't even his fault. Some of it was kind of his and it's just been bad luck and really Ryan Blaney, he has to have a good season. Because winning at these restrictor plates and just getting like one win a year is not going to cut out. Because the last four seasons, he's been getting one win. Pocono was his best win. The Roval, just right place at the right time. And the last two Talladega races, barely won those. Eric Jones nearly won one of them. Same thing with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the spring race last year. And in 2019, Ryan Newman almost got that one. Imagine if he was in the playoffs. He would have been in the round of 8 and probably would have get eliminated. But all jokes aside, Blaney, it, he just has to have a good season because I don't even know if Penske will want to keep him if you're just getting one win a year because you have teammates like Logano and Kozlowski having like 2, 3 wins, 4 win seasons and making the championship four, making it to the round of 8. Because Blaney, he made the round of 8 in Wood Brothers equipment. He also made it in 2019 and 2018, but 2020 he got eliminated in the first round. Well, you got to give him that excuse with that penalty that they were hit at the start of the playoffs. So, yeah, we'll just see what happens to Ryan Blaney, but I see him out in the round of 12. Next up, Chase Briscoe. I think Chase Briscoe gets exactly just one win. One win. Some think that he's going to get more than one win. I don't see that happening because if Cole Custer wouldn't have all right, here's the thing. If Cole Custer, if he would have made it to the round of 12, then I would agree that Chase Briscoe would get more than just one win. But I see him getting one win, maybe not, but I do expect him to make the playoffs because the 14 cars made the playoffs every single year since 2018 actually, because 2017 Boyer didn't have a good year, but 2018, 2019, 2020 they made the playoffs, so I think they can do it 4 years in a row for the 14 car. But I see him out in the first round because he's new to this. He's new to the game, just like Cole Custer and Matt DiBenedetto when they first made the playoffs. So he's got to get used to it. So I bet in 2022 he could definitely make the round of 8, round of 12, maybe in the championship four, but we'll see. But I think when he hits the round of 16, if he does get eliminated, that'll be like growing. Just gonna get grow and get better and better and better. Next up, Brennan Poole. I mean, no hate on Brennan Poole, but really, I don't know what he's gonna do. 'Cause there's like nothing to do, and especially in that car. So we'll see what happens. Uh, well, I don't even know why I said that. Next up, we have Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher is definitely better than Ryan Newman because Chris Buescher is underrated. He's a good driver. I actually like Chris Buescher. He's underrated, and I'm glad that he got switched out with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. because he's better than him. but we haven't seen that in the equipment because Rosh Fenway just basically they just been struggling. They just been struggling. I would not be surprised if they shut down because really Rosh Fenway should be on the same level as RCR. But based off of last year, they weren't even close to RCR. Maybe Chris Buescher, but not Ryan Newman. So I don't know. We'll see what happens and out there. So yeah, but I think Chris Buescher definitely just missing it, probably in 20th in the points, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, we'll see what happens in that 17 car. All right, so now let's continue on. So next up we have Kyle Busch. We all know Kyle Busch had a struggling 2020 season. It all started, after he won the championship. He missed the round of 12, did not get a win in the regular season. He did get a win at Texas during the playoffs, but it didn't really matter because he wasn't a threat anyway, and it wasn't the beginning of vengeance or a comeback for Kyle Busch, but no, because he lost his crew chief, Adam Stevens. He has a new crew chief who I forgot who it was, but yeah, either way, Kyle Busch has struggled. So really, Kyle Busch, I feel like he's going to do a bit better. He is definitely going to get a win, probably one win or maybe two at best during the regular season. But for Kyle Busch, I see him being eliminated in the round of eight. I think he can make it at one more, but be eliminated in the round of eight because, like I say, got this tougher competition. Got Harvick and Hamlin coming off two dominating seasons. Same thing with Chase Elliott. Then you have all these Chevys that I talked about who have new engines that look very powerful, and it's like a comeback for Chevy. And you got all these others who are trying to do really well in the playoffs, and they're just not going to let Kyle Busch go by and try to go for championship number three. While Chase Elliott's trying to go for championship number two. But yeah, I put Kyle Busch in the round of eight position. We'll eliminate it in the round of eight. Next up, we got Martin Truex Jr. Truex, it's a bit of a tough one, but you gotta easily say he is nothing without Colburn. No, I'm just kidding. Truex still runs well. It's just James Small. They got to get used to each other. But I think that like the first two, maybe three seasons, they're not gonna like pick it back up where they left off, with Cole Pern. Because in 2014, Martrix Jr. was like a 20th place driver, and then when he got Cole Pern, he won one race at Pocono and made it all the way to the championship four. Then 2016, they got like four wins and they were eliminated in the round of 12. 2017, they won what like six, seven races, won the championship. 2018, they won like five, maybe six races, and they made it to the championship four, but they lost because Truex kind of karma. It was karma because he said that he ain't winning the damn war. That's what he said to Joe Logano at Martinsville, and then of course Logano won, and then Truex 2019 seven wins and didn't win it. I think he had the most wins that year, but yeah, I'm getting off track. But yeah, Martrix Jr. one win last year. I think he'll just get one win next season. Well, this upcoming season because Truex it's just been a struggle. They've been running consistently. It's just that win wise, they haven't been doing so hot. So right now, I put Martrix Jr. eliminated in the round of 12. It's weird from the 2017 champion, but it's gonna be hard because you have, like I said, you got this new competition coming out of oblivion, like these new teams. You got some other drivers with new rides, and you got Chevy dominating. Got the two dominant drivers of 2020. So it's hard, but I don't really see Martrix Jr. making the round of eight or the final four. Maybe a round of 12 out. He'll definitely make the playoffs. He's Martrix Jr.'s Joe Gibbs, but Joe Gibbs equipment. But I put Martrix Jr. out in the round of 12. Moving on to Christopher Bell, who's now in the 20 car. Christopher Bell, I may change this up, but I do see him doing better than Eric Jones last year. We all expect that. But if he does worse than Eric Jones last year, from based off of 2020, if he does worse than Eric Jones, then you could tell Joe Gibbs made a mistake. So Eric Jones, Oh, well, no, not Eric Jones. Christopher Bell. I see Christopher Bell just missing the playoffs. I feel like he'll be 17th or 18th in the standings. I feel like he'll just miss it. He'll just miss it slightly. But here's the thing, he needs to win a race because you had your first year, you did pretty well in the 95 car. You finished like 19th, 20th, 21st in the point standings. Now you're in this other equipment. Eric Jones in his first year, he did pretty well in the 77, didn't make the playoffs, but he did get his first win with his first year with Joe Gibbs. So that's what we expect from Christopher Bell. Because if Bell does not get a win or doesn't make the playoffs in the 2021, then I don't know what to say. It'll show you that Joe Gibbs wasted a year with Christopher Bell and made a mistake with Eric Jones. So that's what we see, but I don't see Christopher Bell making the playoffs. He could get a win, but it's hard. It's hard to say. It is really tough because you got all these other drivers who look pretty good. Now, it's possible that I could switch out Eric Jones. I mean Christopher Bell. What is wrong with me? I could switch him out with Eric Almirola. That is possible. It's possible, but I just don't see that happening. I just don't know. It's tough, guys. It's really tough trying to choose this. Like, you just have to choose. You just do not know. It's tough. It's very tough. Some of you may think it's easy because some of you don't think Almirola is good. Almirola is pretty decent because Almirola did better than Eric Jones last year. So he could do better than Christopher Bell. So we'll see. Moving on to Matt Benedetto, who will not be having his ride in 2020 one, well, actually in 2022, because that'll be moving on to Austin Cindric. Where can Matt Benedetto go? Well, we don't know because first off, he has to get through this year. He needs to win if he wants to show these other guys that he's a dominant driver. He could go to Roush Fenway Racing, but I wouldn't recommend that. He could probably replace Brad Keselowski if Keselowski does leave Team Penske, or he could even go to RCR. I mean, wait, not RCR. Well, no, I mean 2311 Racing if they open up more spots. Him and Eric Jones. But we'll get to Eric Jones in a minute. But Matt DiBenedetto, I don't see him getting a win, and I don't see him making the playoffs. I have him missing the playoffs because here's the thing: you do good at Bristol in Levi Family Racing equipment, and you move on to Wood Brothers in 2020, which is better equipment, and you don't do good at Bristol. I mean, you did win the All Star Open, but you don't make it. I mean, you don't do good at Bristol in both Bristol races. Come on. Probably because Toyota is affiliated, because Joe Gibbs is a better affiliated team than Team Penske, but still, you struggle with that. That's a bit of an issue. So I put him just missing out on the playoffs, probably in the 19th to 20th spot. So yeah, I feel for Matt DiBenedetto. I want him to do good, but in reality, in my mind, I don't see it happening. In my mind, I don't see it. In my heart, I do. I want it to happen. Next up, Joey Logano. Joey Logano, based off what I saw from 2020, I think he'll be a round of 8 out, just like 2019. He does good. He does pretty decent. But throughout the season, after NASCAR came back from the pandemic, he's been struggling. He barely won that race at Kansas. Kevin Harvick was hot on his tail. I was about to say hail, but Alex Bowman, he was also closing in since those two were battling for a while. So Joey Logano, I have him out in the round of 8, but we'll see. Now Bubba Wallace, I expect Bubba Wallace to make the playoffs, maybe even get one win, maybe even two. He needs to get a win to show that he can do good. Now, here's something that I don't see happening, but it is possible. If Eric Jones makes the playoffs in the 43 car and Bubba Wallace doesn't in the 23 car, then then Denny Hamlin can and Michael Jordan can tell that they made a mistake with Bubba Wallace. But Bubba Wallace, high expectations for him. He knows what's at stake. He needs to show the world in NASCAR that he's proven and he deserves this number 23 ride with 2311 Racing. So I have him making the playoffs, but I see him eliminated in the first round because really, you can't just expect Bubba Wallace to do good right off the bat because this team is new. They have growing pains and they'll get better throughout. And I think by next year, I expect like 2 wins for Bubba Wallace. This year, I expect like 1. If he doesn't get any, and if he just makes the playoffs, that's okay. But 2 wins in 2022, that's what I expect from that 23 card. Next up, William Byron. Byron did not have a good 2020 year. Even though he got his first win, 2019 was still better statistically. because he was like 12th in the standings or 11th or something. And this year, he barely made the playoffs. He was like, no, 15th actually. So, William Byron, I put him same as last year, eliminated in the first round. I don't know, but Byron just hasn't been. He just hasn't been living up to the hype that I expected. In 2019, after the 2019 season, I thought William Byron, he's living up to the hype. But 2020 struggles. And now 2021, I kind of see some struggles, but not a lot of struggles. So I hope for the best for William Byron, but we'll see what happens to him in that 24 machine. Next up, we have the 32 car, which is now part time. I think Ryan Ellis will be driving the car, so I don't expect anything. And it sucks how Go Fast Racing has to go back to a part time team. That really sucks. Next up, we have Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell, I think he'll be like 26, maybe 27th or something, because he was like 24th, 25th last year, but I think he won't do as good because you have new drivers. Well, not new drivers. Well, you have a couple new drivers, but you have like new teams and drivers and new cars. So we'll see what happens. But I put him at the back of the field. But I think I still predict that Corey LaJoy, my man Corey LaJoy in the 7, will finish higher than him and Ryan Newman. Ryan Priest, and I just read about this morning. Ryan Priest doesn't like it's not a full charter. Like they can only run 24 of the 36 races. That is not good. And Ryan Priest does not have the funding. So that's going to be a struggle as well. And really, we don't really expect a lot from Ryan Priest. So I feel like Ryan Priest is probably going to be out of that car. And maybe by 2022, JTG Daughter Racing could be a one car team like they were before in 20 like like the last time they were a one car team, that was like 2016 when they just had Allmendinger, and then they added Chris Buescher with Allmendinger for 2 seasons. Then Allmendinger retired and they brought in Ryan Priest. So I put Ryan Priest in the back of the field as well. I don't really expect much from him. Next up, we have rookie Anthony Alfredo. Anthony Alfredo, I also have a little bit, but not as much expectations. Actually, I don't even know. I don't know. I think John Hunter Nemechek finished like 26th or 27th in the standings, and I expect Anthony Alfredo to finish higher in the standings than John Hunter Nemechek did. That's what you should do in your first rookie season in the NASCAR Cup Series. That's your goal. So that's what I expect from uh, Anthony Alfredo to just make it, just like do better. I mean, do better than Nemechek did last year because Nemechek, he was like the most wrecked car of the year. Cole Custer, I also see Cole Custer not making the playoffs because I think he'll just come up a bit short because he did good at Kentucky, but in the playoffs, no. He has a lot to learn, and I don't know. He's just been struggling. That 41 car hasn't been pretty good the last 3 years, so I put him just missing the playoffs, probably in 21st, 22nd. I expect him to finish worse than he did last season in the point standings, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. Now Ross Chastain. I want my man Ross Chastain to make the playoffs because me and my brother we were rooting for him in the Xfinity Series, trying to get that win, that one win, but no. Ross Chastain, I don't expect that much because Chip Ganassi isn't the best team. They did not have a good 2020 season, even though Kurt Busch won a race that he barely even won. But I'd put Ross Chastain also just missing the playoffs as well because that's going to be a bit of a tough start. But I think they should progress, and I bet they'll do a bit better than I predict because they're gonna have those new engines with Hendrick and RCR. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll just see what happens because it's going to be pretty decent. They should be a pretty decent team because in 2018, actually no, in 2019, I thought they were like a 5-star team. They're like a 4-star team now after 2020. Now we're on to Eric Jones in the 43. Eric Jones, I don't really expect that much from him. I think he'll just miss out on the playoffs as well, probably 20th, 21st in the standings. But here's another thing. Eric Jones, watch out for him. Watch out. He's pretty good at plate races, especially at the end of it. Like, think of like Talladega. Uh, yeah, both Talladega races of 2020, he almost won it. Blaney just hit him into the wall, and Eric Jones had a pretty good run. And then Eric Jones should have won that race at Talladega because because Denny Hamlin, he went below the WL line and he should have pulled up, but he didn't. We all explained that in my NRR Yellowwood 500 video. Go check that one out. Go check out my channel and my NRR playlist. But yeah, he technically would have won that race, but Eric Jones. It all just goes to show that Eric Jones is a really good play racer. So watch out for him in 2021. He could make the playoffs, but I feel like he just misses it as well. Probably worse than as he just missed it last season because he's not in the best equipment. Now, moving on to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. or Ricky Spinhouse Jr., who people think, oh, he's going to win the Daytona 500. No. Listen to what I called him. Ricky Spinhouse. No disrespect. Well, it is kind of disrespect, but I'm just making a joke. But yeah, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I also have him like back here. I don't think he's gonna run as good either because it's JTG Daugherty equipment. They're not really the best equipment. Stenhouse hasn't been doing well. I mean, it was a complete downgrade from when he was with Roush. So I don't know. I put Stenhouse at the back of the field as well because he's not really the best either. Now, Alex Bowman, who will be in my new favorite driver, well, current driver in 2021, well, starting in 2021, but Jimmy Johnson, all time, never, just he can never be replaced. But I would put Alex Bowman making the championship four. I think this will be the first time we will have two, and I mean two, Chevrolets make the championship four since 2015. We have, but like before the championship four of 2020, we've only had one time a Chevy has made the championship four, and the last time that happened was 2016 when Jimmy won the championship. And when a Chevy makes the championship four, they win it. That's so stupid and weird. It's just funny and it's confusing. But this will be the. But I predict that the championship four will have two Chevys, and it'll be the first time that the championship four has two Chevys in the championship four since 2015, where we had Jeff Gordon and Martin Truex Jr. and they. Oh no! Wait, three. We had three. Yeah, we had Kevin Harvick before they turned into four. So three. So yeah, let's just say the first time we had multiple Chevys in the championship four since 2015. We had Harvick, Truex, and Gordon, and they all lost to Kyle Busch. That was not good to see. And I think that was starting to be the downfall of Chevy, but I think Chevy's starting to rise back up again when I predict that we have two Chevrolets now in the championship four. So that is what I predict. Now moving on, the 51 car. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be like Cody Ware. I don't really expect anything. The 52, I think that'll be Josh Bilicki. And the 53 car, that's a part-time car, so I don't know, Garrett Smithley or something. Next up, 66, Timmy Hill. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, guys, we're done. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Oh, shoot, I'm recording. Oh, you guys caught me. Sorry, but Timmy Hill has to be down there. But to make you guys feel better, I'll put him. I'll put him up here. Like Tim A. Hill. You can't disrespect Tim A. Hill. All right, now we have two more drivers. We have the 77. It's gonna be a part-time car, so Jamie McMurray's gonna be in the Daytona 500, so that's cool. But really, nothing to expect from them. And then finally, we have the Trackhouse team, where they just announced three of their sponsors, which I think was iFly, K1 Speed, which I'm happy about, and they did something else. So right now, I think they just have three sponsors. But for me, I think they're just gonna finish just outside of the playoffs in 17th or 18th, because it's not because of their equipment. It's Daniel Suarez. Suarez, you replaced Carl Edwards in 2017, but he didn't do anything good. Well, he was okay. It's just that he didn't make the playoffs. He didn't get a win. Now, 2018, we all expected one win from Daniel Suarez. That never happened. That's why he was released. They put in Martrix Jr. after Furniture Row Racing was gone, and now you have him making go or actually going to Stewart Haas Racing, and did nothing, and that's why they released him and they got Cole Custer. And he went to Gaunt Brothers Racing. We all know he wasn't gonna do anything. We just wanted to see him run in the Cup Series. He had some pretty cool paint schemes. Oh, sorry, I'm moving the mic. I just had to adjust it. But still, I don't know what to expect from Daniel Suarez. I feel like him with Chevy, is just not gonna be as good. But this will not be the best car he's running, because the best car he ran in was that 19 car, and the second best was the Stewart Haas car. This will be the third best. But I really don't expect that much. They have that alliance with RCR. They'll have part of that new engine with Chevrolet, so that could put in some effect of him just missing out, but or just being a contender, probably contending for wins. But I want Team Trackhouse to do good. Justin Marks, he's good. Pitbull, he's part of it as well. I want them to succeed with Daniel Suarez. But based off Daniel Suarez's history, I just don't see that happening. It just breaks my heart every time I say that. I want them to succeed, but off the predictions and the expectations of these other drivers and what you've seen from Daniel Suarez, I just don't see it happening. Daniel Suarez, I just want him to do really good. I want him to make the playoffs for the first time. I want it to happen, but this is all a prediction. This is all what I believe. We'll see what truly happens in the future. And now, finally, to end off this video, let's go ahead and look at our champion. What I have in the championship for is Alex Bowman, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick. Who do I predict will make the championship, or actually win the championship? It's gonna be him? No. All right, let's just go ahead and put, like, who's gonna finish last out of all of them. I'd predict Alex Bowman. Next up, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick. I have Chase Elliott winning the championship for the second year in a row, and it will actually be the first time a driver's won the championship for the second year in a row since Jimmy Johnson when he won in 2006 and then won in 2007, I think. Yeah. So I have Chase Elliott being the champion because the road courses, like I just said earlier when I was talking about Chase Elliott, you can't beat him at the road courses. He's just too good. He's gonna break Jeff Gordon's record this year. Mark my words. And I bet other people have said it. Mark on their words as well. Watch out for Chase Elliott. He can win the championship second year in a row. And just like what I said with these Hendrick RCR engines combining, and they were just so good at the end of last year, that's going to be a good result of what's going to happen with Chevy. They're going to bounce back, winning 2 championships in a row for the first time since 2006, 2007. That was the first. Wait, actually, when was the last time Chevy won 2 championships in a row? I would say 2013, 2014. Jimmy Johnson won in 2013 and Kevin Harvick won in 2014. So yeah, the last time Chevys won back-to-back championships was 2013, 2014. Now, if it was a back-to-back specific team, then it would be Jimmy Johnson from when he won in 2009, then won in 2010. Just by Hendrick Motorsports. But just Chevrolet is 2013, 2014 with Johnson and Harvick. But yeah, I have Chase Elliott winning a championship, and those are my predictions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please smash the like button, comment, subscribe, help me out. I love making these videos for you guys. I'm not just doing it for this, for like all the money and stuff. Just like for like publicity. I just do YouTube for fun, and it is just really fun. So I hope you guys like this video, and yeah, I'll probably do some reviews in between here to the Busch Clash. I'm not sure. You won't get an update, it'll just pop up, like how I just had that review pop up a couple days ago on Thursday. But yeah, if I don't have any reviews, then I'll see you guys at the Busch Clash with my NRR video, and I'll have one for the Daytona Duels, and I'll have one for the Daytona 500. So it's gonna be a busy week in a couple weeks. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your Saturdays, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.